People of the world, what's going on? I had to come back with another blackout message. World, what's going on, world? How everybody doing? I hope everybody having a good one. Staying safe out there and staying prayed up. There's a lot going on in the world right now, you know. Well, we got to stay focused. We can't let the distractions take over, right? We got to stay focused and keep going forward, you know. Don't look back. And let's talk about racism. Yeah, we want to talk about a little racism, you know, racism that's been going on for ages and time and centuries and you know, it's still going on right now today. But who am I to change, right? I'm just another brother that's you know, talking about it. So let's talk. Listen. Okay? Because we all have our opinions about things. And maybe, you know, this might affect a few people. You know, this is a warning message, you know. I want you to, you know, listen with caution. And if it's something that, you know, you can't handle, and if you can't take this message, you know, just go ahead and click off. You know, I advise you to go ahead and click off, because, you know, whatever comes out is going to come out, you know. And there's nothing to offend nobody, and I'm not racist. You know, I love everybody. You know, I'm God's people. So God people, if you God's people, you're not racist. First of all, God people ain't racist. You know, we love everybody because that's where we come from. We come from God. You understand? So, you know, at the end of the day, you know, we could judge each other on many things, color, whatever, you know, but when, you know, at the end of the day, we still bleed the same way, you know, so that's not going to change. The blood is still red. You know, we can come out with many colors. We can come out whatever color we want, but we still the same people at the end of the day that comes from God. Okay? So let's just get that out the way. Let's clear that up real quick. Yeah, but, you know, we have people that's been misled. You know, they've been misguided too. Okay? And also we got people out here that, you know, follow us, you know. And you know, if you can't make your own judgment and your own decision, you know, and you gotta see what somebody else do or go off what other people say or do, then, you know, that's the issue itself. Okay? We all equal, you know, and we all have our own minds. And, you know, we can like and love what we want and who we want. A lot of dysfunctional and a lot of the races that comes from back then, it's, you know, it comes from our ancestries. You know, we can't only talk about black people was only under slavery, you know. And we're not going to only, you know, I want to bring up that also, okay? Okay, because, you know, it starts and comes from slavery. That's where the races come from. Okay, if you know your history and you dig into your history and you read and you do your research, then you'll understand better. Okay, I can't break down what I got to say in so many different ways, but whatever I tell you, you'll understand it. Because there's so many different ways. I'm not here to confuse nobody. You know, just understand. You know, and it's something that we see and we hear, we live in it. We can't run and hide from it. We hear. It's been going on and it's going on. Okay? And I'm not going to only say black people were slave. We have white people were slave. Hispanics were slaves also. So, you know, everybody in a different race, you know, experienced slavery at once upon a time. Okay? So we're not going to get in deep into the history part, you know, but I just had to bring that up real quick to understand where the divide came from. You know, it was once divided, and certain people in certain areas still try to keep it like that. We can't change everybody mental. You know, some people still stuck in their ways or stuck in the old beliefs. And time has changed and things is progressing and things ain't the same no more. Things don't look the same no more. And certain areas change. Certain people change. But you know, you still have some people that's still stuck in their old ways and their old beliefs. Raising the new generation to believe what they're believing in and to keep it going. That's bad. Okay? That's wrong. Because at the end of the day, you know, like I feel like, you know, everybody's entitled to, like I said earlier, to want what they want and like what they like. You know, I would never tell my kids, hey, listen, you shouldn't date this race. Hey, we don't bring this in our home. Hey, we don't deal with this and that and that and that. Listen, let that be the judge of them. Okay? Let that be the judge of them. Let them make their own decisions. I can't get it through everybody's head. Everybody ain't gonna listen to me. You know, that's okay. But I got to put the word out there. And it comes from home. You know, a lot of the racist stuff comes from home. And the talks, the old wars, the old territories, the old gangs, and, you know, all that old stuff, you know, it reappears in many different ways. So now when you tell a child something, you know, or a kid or whatever you want to put it, however you want to put it, when you tell them something that happened, they start looking at things different and picturing it different. And, you know, maybe they going through something at that time, and by you telling them whatever it was or whatever it is that you went through or whatever that they shouldn't do or should believes in or whatever, then that's when it all come out, and they'll be like distracted and don't know like which way to go or how to go about this or who to be friends with or who to like or who should they sit around, who should they be around. We hear it every day. People talk amongst up under the, you know, breath, or talk about each other. You know, different race talk about other people, you know, in their own language. That's fine. Hey, it's okay. You want to say something in your language about somebody, you know, at the end of the day, all freedom of speech. Okay? You can't go pick up a gun and go shoot somebody because they said something, you know, how they felt. Okay? You can, but it'll be wrong of you. You understand? It's all freedom of speech at the end of the day. We can't stop nobody from saying how or feeling how they want to feel. But, you know, respect, you know, goes a long way. Okay? It's all about respect. Okay? And me personally, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, or whatever. Okay? If I don't, if, because I don't, in my heart, I don't know how to hate, you know what I'm saying, somebody or whatever. I may dislike what people do. Okay? But that still doesn't mean that I won't speak, because I'm a very respectful person. I may not hold a conversation with you or may not want to be around you for certain reasons, but I will speak. And it's all about respect. You can work along somebody you don't like. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, they came in, they walk in this morning or whatever. It's respect. Hey, good morning. Good morning, whatever. You know? But, you know, it's your choice too. You don't have to speak. But I thrive off respect. That's how I move. Okay? And I think that, you know, it'll be a different world and a better place if everybody know how to respect. Just because you don't like a person, that doesn't mean you don't have to like, you know, you it's disrespecting somebody. It's another thing. So, you know, just be careful, you know, how you're moving in, you know, on earth and in the world, period. You know, wherever you at on earth, on the planet, be careful how you move. And sometimes you'll speak to people and greet them and they won't even speak back. That's fine. At least you spoke. That's what it's all about. And of course, enemies ain't gonna say, hey, good morning, hey, good evening, good night. Enemies ain't gonna speak to one another. Of course not. You know, we get that. We understand that. It still don't take away the respect, though. That's all I'm saying. I move with respect. And I think it'll be a better place if everybody move with respect. Okay? And I'm not better than you. You're not better than me. We're not better than we. We all come from God. We all come from the same person. It's bad when you're teaching your kids how to not like somebody, or how to hate somebody, or how to not date this race, or how to not bring this person around, or stuff like that. I mean, yeah, you may feel like you're entitled to do what you want to do because maybe you feel like that's your household, or how you've been raised, or how you're gonna raise yours, and this is how you want it. Control been from the jump. It's been a control thing from the beginning. Segregation, control, and all that. It's all about control. You're not giving nobody, no real leeway to make their own decisions and to be happy. So some people may dislike what you're saying, and they might be scared to say something to you about it, because it's just how parents are. And a lot of times it'd be hard for a kid to speak on their feelings because of how certain parents react, and we get it. And parents need to understand too, and not just the parents only. It's just speaking, like adults, period. you know Give a child a chance to do them and hear them out. Let them speak. Let them feel. Give them a chance to understand. It's wrong because you don't like something, you want your child to not like it also. That's wrong. It's wrong. Point blank, period. You can't beat around it, you can't hide around it. It's wrong, period. You don't like something, your child shouldn't like it either. It's wrong. I mean, common sense is common sense. If it's something that we're not supposed to like, I mean, wouldn't we all agree to it? I mean, hello, right? Certain things everybody in the world should agree on not liking, like when it comes to certain situations. I mean, it makes sense. It's common sense. At the end of the day, we can't just, hey, I don't like this person, you shouldn't like them either. No, I don't want to walk through this mud. You shouldn't want to walk through it either because it's going to mess up your shoes or something. I'm just using a small example. We all should agree on not to go that way. We can go the other way where it's dry at.